Hey guys, this is Mike. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see which direction this channel is going to go. Alright, enjoy the video. Hi everybody, how you doing? Just be excused the appearance. Looks like I'm a little tired. Had a long week at work. Today I was thinking about, summertime, and I always kind of hear people talking about the summer body. Oh, I gotta work out, or I gotta get into a diet to get my summer body. Well, unfortunately, the summer body is your year-round body. It's kind of the body you give yourself all year round. So if you want to look more fit or trimmer or more cut for the summer, unfortunately, there's no quick fixes or quick ways to get that. And just want to share thoughts on it. And probably one, if you really want to start, definitely start the previous summer. Would have been the time to get this year's summer body. But it's going to be your year-round body, the body you work for all year through diet and exercise. And when it comes to diet and exercising, one thing I've noticed, if when you're beginning, it's a lot of information out there. There's a lot of gimmicks being thrown at you. What will work, what won't work, do this instead of that. You'll hear people talk about a miracle supplement. You'll hear people talk about a miracle diet or a fad diet that's in. I'm sure you heard about fasting or things like that. Just I wanted to share my thoughts on what I felt about those things. Is obviously when you're beginning, start a diet. I don't really believe in the term dieting. It's basically going to be your diet. And when people say dieting, it feels like a lot of what they're saying is a caloric restriction, and those things really don't work. You look at these plans, Jenny Craig, Weight Watchers, or any of those things that sell you their food, it's not gonna really work, because if you really look at it, those foods don't taste that great, and they're restricting your calories. Yeah, you'll lose weight pretty quickly at first, but your body's gonna plateau, and as soon as you stop those diets, your body's gonna compensate and come back. I think from a general standpoint, we all know this at this point, just when you think about dieting, maybe in the terms of instead of kind of limiting the calories or trying these special foods, maybe start going towards the healthier choices. When you look at the supermarket at first, it does seem overbearing because a lot of the healthier foods just seem more expensive. But if you keep that in mind, if you start buying these healthier foods, yeah, they seem more expensive. It's also in the long run not as expensive as if you were to go to McDonald's 2 or 3 times a week. Because if you think about it at that fact, if you're going out and buying a meal, your meal that you're buying each time is going to minimum cost you around $10 to $12. Even some meals cost up to $15 per meal. Yeah, you get a drink, you get a side, or you get a main dish, but those things in the long run just kind of just drain your bank account faster, like $10, $15, $15, $10. As opposed to, say, if you were to go into the supermarket, kind of spend some time in the produce and vegetable section and the meat sections, and buy like some lean chicken breast, grass-fed beefs, leaner beefs. Those will actually in the long run, say like a $200 or every 2 week or $150 a week expenditure on groceries is way more cheaper than going out and just getting fast food or trying to buy these diet foods. When I looked at those diets, those diets are costing you onwards to about $1,000 a month. If you were to take about, if you think about it, fast food, if you were to say spend $30 to $40 a month on a week on fast food, you're safe. That's about $160 a month. If fast food, or possibly like $60 to $30 to $80 in food from fast food. If you go to the supermarket, $150 every 2 weeks or $200 every 2 weeks. Actually, when you do the math, kind of does help you out. Because you got to picture, if you're doing the fast food or doing those diets, you're still buying groceries on top of that, so it just increases what you're spending on food. But it's just being health conscious. And also when you're doing these things, you got to think about You don't have to go all in. Just make minor lifestyle changes. For me at first, I was starting to get a pot belly or like a beer belly, which I didn't want to have. So the immediate thing I did was cut down a little bit, you know, like from fast food twice a week, I went to once a week. Instead of drinking sodas, I cut out the sodas, and now it's only juice once a day, some water. Actually, most of the day is water. In the mornings, like when I go to work, instead of like I've actually made the switch from having coffee with creamers or milks in it to either just black coffee or tea, black tea or green tea. I'll explain the reason for that in a little bit later, but we'll just say right now, you just got to start slowly, you know. Also, when you do these things, going all in really just doesn't help you, you know, because you feel like, oh, I gotta limit my eating, I gotta limit my calories, I gotta only eat healthy, you know, and it gets boring and it gets hard and tedious, you know. Like, it's okay to have a reward system, you know, like, okay, well, I've been doing good, I want to have a cookie or something, or maybe some chips. It's fine to have, you know. It's what you're eating, and just watch how you're eating, you know. Just kind of one of the basic things, you know. Like, it's an overwhelming world, and I think just instead of just diving all in, start at first with the minor changes, you know. Limit yourself to fast food. Don't drink sodas, you know. Maybe limit your sugar intake. Those things will make actual noticeable change. In fact, if you think about it, these sugary drinks or these sugary foods or junk food is almost as bad as trying to quit smoking or trying to quit a drug. Because if you think about it, no one ever talks about like how changing to a healthy lifestyle is just as hard, because everything for you to be unhealthy is readily available. I mean, we could take a trip down the road right now and I could count on one hand in less than half a mile how many fast food restaurants there are, liquor stores selling sugary drinks, sodas, high sugar fruit punches, candies, all over the place. You know, you walk in the store, buy a quick bag of cookies, candy bar, M&Ms, they're everywhere. And I'm not knocking it, because every so often I will go and buy that stuff, but I just limit to what I'm eating, because I want to actually have a goal. And it does kind of get hard because they're everywhere for you. So the moment that itch comes, you don't have far to walk to scratch it, you know. And plus, when you look at some of the prices for sugary foods or just junk food, chips, candies, sugar buns, they're cheap. You know, if you look at a bag of apples compared to like a box of donuts, the price is quite different, you know. Or like buying salad, like not the pre-made salads, but like buying broccoli and cabbage or squashes. Just like, they seem much more expensive than buying a bag of Lay's, a barbecue Lay's, or buying a bag of Doritos. Yeah, again, I might be saying these things, but like, it's okay every once in a while to have them. Just as I'm saying, just kind of limit yourself to what you're having, and don't go on it, you know. Now, if we're going to talk about the diets, I'm sure now, besides like the ones I talked about that sell the food, just don't work, and you're just going to backtrack in the end. I'm sure you guys have heard about keto diets, carnivore, paleo, vegan diets, vegetarian diets. Just don't say you're gonna switch and do that right away. Do your research and see what works for you. It's saying to go with fasting. What is gonna work? Because remember, going into these things without doing your research or knowing what's gonna happen, it's gonna really be rough for you, you know? One source I really like going to is a guy actually on YouTube named Thomas DeLauer. He actually brings you the science. You'd be really surprised at what you're gonna learn, because there is a lot of science behind what he's saying. He has the receipts to back it up. And if you look at the guy, he looks like a workhorse, and he has this beautiful story of being over 300 pounds to going to what you see now. I'm not affiliated with him in any way whatsoever. Just gonna let you know. I'm just giving you guys a starting point if you want to start looking, you know. Just saying, he's one of the people I look to a lot that gives some really good things. He's not a doctor, he's not a nutritionist, but he just kind of gives helpful tips, and he backs it up. you know, so hopefully that's a starting point. All right. Next, we'll talk about working out on this next segment. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm sure we've all gotten gym memberships: 24 Hour Fitness, LA Fitness, Curves, Anytime Fitness. What was the one that had the real dumb commercials that has a pizza night? I can't remember that gym for the life of me. But there's, believe it or not, there is actually a gym that has a pizza night. Avoid that pizza, that's a trap. Just go to the gym. The facilities are actually nice. I just can't think of it right now. Anyways, I digress. So when I go into the gym, it's very intimidating if you don't work out regularly. You know, a lot of people there, a lot of people in their own zone. Where do you start? Do you start on the treadmills? Do you start on the bikes? Do you start the weights? You know, it's very bombarding, especially if you don't have a starting point, like you don't have a base, you know. Just relax. Ignore, the best thing to do is ignore everybody else and see what you can do. You know, go in, try doing the treadmill for about 10 minutes. If you can't, whatever amount you can that you feel comfortable with, right? And go in with the plan. What do you want to work out that day? Do you want to work out, do you want to work out your legs, your chest, your biceps, or your shoulders or back? Try doing 1 to 2 muscle groups. I prefer the 2 muscle group method personally myself. And kind of stick with that. Like just, you know, go on the internet, see what exercises you can do, you know, like that are available to you at your particular gym. And go with the plan. Okay, I'll do my back and biceps. That's actually a great plan because your back and your biceps, if you actually look at a lot of those exercises, they compound those 2 muscle groups. Same with your chest and your triceps. Shoulders, unfortunately, are kind of one of those weird support muscles you're just gonna have to try to fit in somewhere. Legs, I like to do with abs, you know. And also I like to switch my routine up, but I'll talk about that later down the line somewhere in later videos. The thing is, when you go to the gym, kind of have a set plan and also have a rest day. Just don't hit it crazy hard because all you're going to do is burn yourself out. And I do recommend at least 1 to 2 rest days a week. All right. Now, also, I'm going to see a lot of guys at the gym that are hogging the weights or hogging a machine. That happens. There's no avoiding it. A lot of the muscle necks out there actually are pretty nice guys, but a lot of people just like will be in their own zone and they'll hog weights. They're gonna hog a machine, and yes, I know it gets annoying. That's kind of why I said go on the internet and kind of look on what exercises you could do with your what the things they give you that are available. So if in case a particular machine or a particular exercise you're not going to get to for quite a while, you can move on and go to the next. Now, I'm sure we've all read Men's Health, we've gone online, we've checked out numerous people online, and we've seen them start out with X, X, and X. I don't know what is the proper routine to start out with. Only thing I can say is when working out, you're going to hit a wall and it's going to happen quick. It's happened to me usually within the first 2 weeks of working out, you know, especially after an injury for me. Like if I pull something because I just wasn't listening to my body, or I try to jump way too soon, it'll put me down for like a week, a couple of weeks. And I notice when I come back, I'm out of shape and I want to hit it hard, but I can't because you're going to hit that wall. And that wall is, you're going to ache, your body's going to feel sore, you're not going to know how to get past it. Unfortunately, there's only one way I figured out to get past that initial sore phase. And that's kind of to work out through the soreness, and it really sucks. And when you hit that sore phase, my best recommendation is to start doing some lighter repetitions, you know. So if you're trying to do heavy, I wouldn't do a heavy week, or I have very high volumes, sort of like just do a 4 sets of 10 type deal, or just maybe go 30 minutes while you're sore, you know. Eventually you'll break past the soreness, you'll start to feel good again. While you're working out, you might want to start going heavier faster. I really recommend don't do that. I'm sure within the first 2 weeks, you're like, oh, maybe I could jump 5 pounds. Maybe you could. Regularly jumping up 5 pounds is a pretty big jump, and you really will feel it, especially in bench presses, curls, leg presses, maybe not so much, but that 5 pounds is a pretty high jump. I normally say before you make any jump, get comfortable to what you're lifting. Do at that weight for at least a minimum. I recommend a month to a month and a half, maybe even more. Your body will tell you when you're ready, because you'll start lifting and you'll think your normal weight that you used to struggle with is nothing. That's when you know you're ready to make the next jump up. But like I said, start out at a starting point. Kind of do your research. Don't worry about the other people around you. Eventually you will meet people at the gym that know what they're doing and will help you through your process. And maybe they will disagree with some of what I'm saying, but also my process was me doing this alone. So this is just what worked for me, and I'm giving recommendations that worked for me. You know, and I would love to see you guys succeed. So when you guys when you want a summer body for next year, you went through the year to get it. And unfortunately, the only thing I could really say to hopefully motivate you, but at the same time kind of sounds like a downer, there is no quick way. 30-day abs is not a thing. Getting shredded without the proper diet is not a thing. When you see those things on YouTube, right away, think of it as a red flag. Do your research and just have a starting point, and don't rush in or go all in. Listen to what your body tells you at times, and sometimes it's okay to take a rest, or while you're changing your diet, to have a reward, or even reward yourself for doing good on your diet and going to the gym a bit. You know, like it's like, hey, I kicked ass for about a month now. Go for it. Take the time and enjoy yourself. Don't forget, getting fit is supposed to be a fun process. It's not supposed to be tedious. If you're not enjoying yourself, then why are you doing it, okay? The rewards are there. You just have to take the time to figure out how your process can be more enjoyable, you know? But just take baby steps. That's all it's going to take. And it's going to be a journey, not a sprint. All right. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.